Hi 4G students, welcome to a new video here in the channel. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. Thank you for watching all the lessons. And today guys, we need to continue with part number 2. I don't know if you remember, we said that today it was going to be part 2 for science. On Tuesday we had a chance to see the food chains, and now guys we are gonna be talking a little bit more about food chains, but yes, today it is the turn to talk about food webs, and it's pretty much the same thing guys. I don't know if you forgot, but I told you that food webs are made of food chains, right? So food chains are like the basics in order to construct food webs, but I'll give you all the details, I'll give you all the information here in the video. Before I start with the lesson, let me tell you that today you have another conference with Ms. Rojas at 1 p.m. So if you have any questions regarding today's lesson, you can go to Zoom and ask those questions to Ms. Rojas. Also, we have a lot of resources in Schoology. So I want to take the time before I start the lesson to show you where you can find the resources. So remember that we are in the week of April 20th. We open here, and today guys, today is Thursday, so we open here. And guys, here are the resources. On top you have the lesson. Then the second one guys, you have the vocabulary words. Guys, you're gonna need this for the test. I'm gonna make a quick review of the vocabulary words that we have for today, but I want you to open this again so you can read it on your own. And also I have the reading of the day. I'll be reading this for you today guys, but nothing is gonna happen if you read it 2 or 3 more times guys. It's gonna help, it's gonna be worth it at the end, especially if you're aiming for 80s, 90s, or even the 100. You need to read it at least 2 times guys. And here I have another video, because today I'm gonna be talking about spiders and how they are related in the food chain and the ecosystem and all of that. So I have a video here for you. Then the last item is the test. Okay, so this is what you have for today. Okay guys, so we are ready to start. Okay, food chains and food webs. Okay, what are those things? Let me give you a quick review of what we saw on Tuesday. So on Tuesday we said that a food chain, it looks almost like a line, right? Going left to right, or it can be top to bottom. And we have the organisms. And every time we start with the plant, like on this one we have the grass. And who eats the grass? The grasshopper. Who eats the grasshopper? The frog, and so on, right? So that's like the food chain. We see how the order of how living things, I'm reading the definition, the order of how living things eat and get energy from one another living thing. So it's really specific, right? It's straight to the point. Food chains can be short, like you can have 3 organisms, or you can have more, like 4, 5, 6. All the way to, I think I have seen food chains with 10 organisms. Guys, but now here, this is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. Now you have this diagram, and you have animals all over the place, but you have the arrows going everywhere. Arrows going to the bottom, to the left, the right, all in all directions. So how does this work? Okay, it's not that hard. As you can see, I'm gonna make this image a little bit bigger so you can see better. As you can see, there are food chains inside this diagram. I'm gonna circle what the food chains that I see. I'm gonna use my marker here. Guys, I see one right here. Do you see it? Boom, one. I see another one like here. You see it? Guys, a food web, which is this diagram is made up of a lot of food chains. And this is how it actually works in real life. You have a lot of animals, plants, and all of them are interconnected. That means that they depend on each other. So I'm gonna erase it so I can explain this to you really quick. So guys, let's see how this works. So we said on Tuesday that we need the sun. We need the sun in order to start this cycle, just like the water cycle. We need the sun. But here, when everything starts, it actually starts with the plants, because the plants are the producers. They are able to produce their own food. But they are all good, all happy. But we have insects that like to eat plants. So that's why we have the arrow going like this. But the insects, guys, they are in trouble sometimes. And who can eat the insects, like the grasshopper? A spider, right? The spider can eat it. And the spider is not all alone. The spider can be eaten by the mouse or even the hawk, right? And as you can see, the arrow is going right here and right here. And that's the hard thing of being an animal. Because just put yourselves in this position. I want you to put yourselves in this position, because today we're going to be talking about spiders. Oh yes, you can eat insects. Oh yes, you can enjoy all the insects that you want. But also you need to protect yourself, because who's looking for you? The mouse? Do you see the arrow going like this? Who's looking for you? The hawk? Guys, who's looking for you? The weasel? Guys, you have a lot of animals that want to eat you, but you need to protect yourself. And today, guys, we're gonna see how spiders are able to eat and protect themselves at the same time. One thing that I want to clarify before I start today's lesson or today's reading, I want to mention about the arrow going like this. Guys, some of you are gonna think that the grasshopper eats the spider just because the arrow is pointing that way. No, this means that the grasshopper is eaten by the spider. In other words, the spider eats the grasshopper. I have this fancy example here. I have the square and the triangle. Who's eating who? Is the square eating the triangle or the triangle eating the square? Yes, the triangle is eating the square, okay? Don't go by the arrow. Here in science, it works a little bit different, okay? So for example, here, the mouse eats the spider, the weasel eats the spider, the hawk eats the spider. Okay, guys? So it's hard. It's really hard, especially for small animals like spiders. But today we're gonna see how they do it in order to survive in the ecosystem. And before I change into the next page, I really want to read the definitions for food chains and food webs. So I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger right here. Food chain. A food chain is a linear, that means a line, sequence of organisms through which nutrients and energy flows from one organism to another. And food web, it is a network of different food chains, is called a food web. Remember, food webs are made of a lot of food chains, okay? Okay, guys, I think you are ready for today's reading. As you can see, I have some words highlighted in yellow. Those are the keywords for today's lesson. And I'll give you the definitions after I finish with this. I just want you to keep in mind that the yellow words are the keywords for today's lesson. So guys, we are ready to start. Okay. The type of spiders that we have today are called the trapdoor spiders. These are not like the spiders that you might find at home or the spiders that you might be thinking like tarantulas. These are a really, I will say, a really special kind of spiders, because like I said, they are able to get food and they are able to protect themselves at the same time. So they have that that skill. Okay, so the spiders that we are learning today are called trapdoor spiders. Okay, so follow me. Okay, so all spiders produce a kind of silk inside their bodies. Most spiders use the silk to spin delicate webs that are really quite strong. The sticky silk traps insects, which the spider wraps in more silk until the spider is ready to eat. Female spiders produce silk to make a sac or pouch that holds the spider's eggs until they hatch. Trapdoor spiders put their silk to a different use. They use it to build a home. Oh my goodness. Do you hear that? Do you hear the last sentence? They use it to build a home. Guys, I told you these are a different kind of spiders. They don't use the silk to get their food. They use it to build a home. Do you remember that I told you that they are able to get their food and protect themselves at the same time? So maybe this makes me think that they use silk to protect themselves. Okay, but let's see what they say. Many types of tarantulas build underground burrows as homes. The trapdoor spider, which is a similar type of spider, adds a cover to its burrow. This is a very sophisticated cover because it has a hinge, just like a door in your home. The covered burrow provides shelter and protection for the spider and its young from wasps, their main enemies. Trapdoor spiders use long fangs that grow along their jaw to dig out a hole. They scrape away bits of earth, roll into balls, and kick it outside the burrow. The spider uses saliva and earth to make the walls of the burrow smooth and firm. Then the spider lines the walls with silk. And this is a great explanation of what I'm reading right now. Guys, this is a good picture. It says here, a trapdoor spider making a mud burrow. Guys, this is how they do it. It looks to me that they use the silk to build their home, and they covered all the surface, all the walls with silk. They don't use it to hunt like other spiders. I know you see this picture on top. They are not this type of spiders. They use the silk to build their own homes. Here on top it says, a web weaver wraps up a grasshopper in silk. Guys, they are not like this. They use it to build their own homes. And here I have the definitions for sophisticated and saliva. These are not the keywords of the lesson, but if you wanna know what it is, you can read it here. Sophisticated is something that is complex, and saliva is a spit. Okay, so let's continue. Let's see how they get their food. Let's see how they get the insects. Okay, the spider continues spinning the silk up the past the lined walls to make the trap door. The place where the lining connects to the door becomes the hinge. The door is made out of a sturdy layer of silk. The spider covers the outer surface of the door with something natural in the area. Materials such as leaves, twigs, or moss camouflage the cover. As a result, insects are fooled into walking right over the spider's home. The trapdoor spider's favorite meals include ants, crickets, beetles, and grasshoppers. Guys, so this is a good illustration of what they do. Do you see? They build their own home, but they hide underneath the surface. And when they feel an insect nearby, they go out of this little house and they eat the insect. And then they hide again, they eat it inside. Guys, here they are doing two things. They are eating, they are getting their own food, and also they are protecting from, do you remember who's looking for spiders? The mouse, the weasel, the hawk. So when they do this, guys, when they go again underneath the surface, they are eating, yes, they are enjoying their food, but at the same time they are protecting themselves from from those animals that are looking for them. Let me continue. When the trapdoor spider is ready to hunt, it waits patiently under the door. When it hears the vibrations of an insect coming close, the spider pops the door open. It reaches out, grabs its prey, and moves quickly back into the tunnel. Then the spider grabs hold of the silk on the inside of the door and pulls the door shut. Trapdoor spiders live much longer than most other types of spiders and insects. Most other types of spiders live for 1 or 2 years. Female trapdoor spiders can live 15 to 20 years. That is longer than most pet dogs or cats. Would you have thought that such slender threads could keep a spider safe for so long? Guys, this technique, or we can say this skill that trapdoor spiders have, help them to live much longer. They can live up to 15 to 20 years because here they are doing two things that every single animal is trying to do, but they do it so well. They eat and they protect themselves at the same time. That's not an easy thing to do, especially for a small animal like a spider, right? It can be easier for a lion or maybe a tiger because they are bigger, they're stronger, guys. But those spiders, trapdoor spiders, are really, really smart. So, if you want to see a video of trapdoor spiders in action, I have it in Schoology. So this was the reading of the day. So before I finish with this video, I really want to just give you the definitions for the key vocabulary. Remember, those are the words highlighted in yellow. So line, to cover the inside of something. Sturdy, strong, well built. Camouflage, to make something blend in with the things around it. Prey, a small animal that a larger animal eats for food. Delicate, thin, easy to break. And hinge, something that connects a door to the wall around it and lets the door open. So guys, that's the lesson of the day. I think this reading gives you a better idea of how the food web works, about how animals are looking for other animals, about how they protect themselves, and about how they use special techniques to keep surviving in the planet, to keep surviving in the ecosystem. So guys, if you have any questions, let me know. I am your teacher, Mr. Gonzalez. It was a pleasure to do this video for you. See you next time.